One of the most impressive current dynasties in HBCU sports is being authored by the Howard University volleyball team, and head coach Shaun Kupferberg joins us now on BNC. Coach Kupferberg, we appreciate your time, and let me start by asking you just how challenging it has been to prepare, recruit, etc. in this age of COVID-19.
It's been a completely different experience for everybody involved. I think that it's something that no coach was prepared for. I don't think anybody in there, whether they've been coaching for 2 years or for 40 years, nobody had experienced something like this. So we've had to sort of revise everything we do from a training standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, and just keeping our players connected standpoint, just to make sure that we are preparing our team in the best possible way to be successful after the pandemic. So I think it's been a unique situation where we've gotten a lot better on these video calls, and we've gotten a lot better at training as far as when we have smaller groups, because we're not allowed to have the whole group in the gym at the same time. So there's a lot of different things that we had to learn on the fly, and I think we're getting better at them. And I think they'll serve us better once we get back post-pandemic. I think that some of these video skills that we have learned will help everybody in the recruiting world. Obviously, you get a lot more face time, but we would still love to see these athletes face to face and be able to meet them and talk to them and have them on our campus.
Well, speaking of success, the week before last Thanksgiving, you guided the Bison to a 5th straight MEAC championship. When you arrived on the Hilltop in 2012, your first team won exactly one game. How in the world did you turn around a team that went 1-23 all the way into a dynasty?
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't me turning it around. It was a lot of really hard work by a support staff and by some really special players. The team that actually didn't win a championship was a bunch of sophomores on that first team. And they were seniors the year we lost in the conference championship right before we went on this run. But they really put in a lot of hard work and sort of set the stage for the athletes that came after them. The athletes that came after them really picked up the baton and kept running with it. And so we've kept pushing the limits and trying to break through that next level. So right now, I think that we have gotten it to a comfortable level the last few years. I think the big thing is just not holding yourselves back recruiting. There was a lot of times when we were recruiting and people were saying, well, that player is above your level and that player belongs at a bigger school. And those people don't understand what an HBCU is to the African American community and how special it is to come to a place like Howard, both academically, socially, and what that draw is. And I think that over time we've sort of eroded that perception that the best players can't come to an HBCU. And so now we've started competing with those Power Fives and being able to really push the limits there.
One of the great features of Howard, of course, is academics, and all of us are familiar with the term student athlete. Some schools and some programs seem to forget about the student part of that hyphenated term. Your team certainly do not. Not only has Howard thrived on the court, but more than 50 Bison women's volleyball players have made the all-MEAC academic team and earned a 3.5 GPA. How have you and your staff and those players done it?
Yeah, I think when you come to Howard, you know that you're here for a complete development. You're not here just to be an athlete. You're not here just for the social life. You're here to make sure that you're better 40 years from now and you're meeting your goals 40 years from now, not necessarily today or along with today. So we're really focused on the complete development of a student athlete, and we really focus on not only in the classroom, but those internships. I know sometimes it takes away a little bit of their volleyball time, but a lot of those internships, especially through our business school, but even through our communications, through our science programs, they get a chance to work with some of the best people in the country, whether it's on Wall Street, whether it's with Google or BuzzFeed. I know we've had some people working at National Institute of Health, and being in DC, that's obviously helpful. But there's a lot of different avenues to be great and to be excellent when you're at Howard. And so that's really what we're pushing them for, is that 40-year goal. Hey, what do you want to be? How do you want to change the world? And how can we help you get there? And so now we have people at JP Morgan on Wall Street and Johnson & Johnson, and we have producers at BuzzFeed and TikTok, and we have educators in classrooms across the country, and we have people that are we're really proud of as they've grown and developed into women that are really leading our country forward.
Well, I know one of those that you're proud of is one of our favorite former guests here, former player Jurnee Farrell. We spoke with her some months back here on BNC to discuss her act of sacrifice. Still inspiring, quite frankly, to think of her giving up a chance to contribute on the floor to a 5th straight MEAC championship team in the conference tournament to help save a life. I know you were fully behind her. She mentioned you as part of her decision to donate stem cell. Why, and what does that say about her?
I just think, I mean, that's just who Jurnee is. I don't think me behind her had anything to do with it. I think that she is a phenomenal young woman, and she always had her head on right. She's done a lot of great things throughout her career at Howard. Obviously, she's going to be remembered, through this act. And she did what was right. I mean, obviously, saving somebody's life is more important than a volleyball game. And that's sort of the priorities we always talk about in our program. What are your priorities? And academics is above volleyball. Family is above volleyball. There are things that are above volleyball, and you have to take care of those before you get back to volleyball. And this was one of those things that's above volleyball. And this is part of her character. It wasn't a hard choice, I don't think, for her. I think it might have been a stressful choice just because it was her last MEAC championship. But on the positive side, we were able to win and get her to the NCAA tournament, and she was able to finish her career. She got an assist on her very last play, and that was a great thing, just to see her in the game and being able to do that. But Jurnee is a special young woman. We have a program filled with those special young women, but she really stepped up and did what we really preach in our program, which is keep those values straight and keep those priorities straight, and I was proud of her for that.
Howard University head volleyball coach Shaun Kupferberg. Sir, we appreciate it. Thanks so much for the time. Stay safe. Best of luck moving forward with the team, and thanks for joining us here on BNC.
Thank you. Have a good day.